So this is a program called Touch Spell. And this was introduced to me by an occupational therapist friend of mine in Tucson named Kathy Bryte. The idea behind Touch Spell is you're having a child using alternate hands to touch to spell the word. And what that does is that works on working both sides of the brain together. So you're crossing midline and you're making both sides of the brain work together. So I'll give you an example of Touch Spell using a piece of tag board. In using this Touch Spell, you want to have the child right in the middle. It needs to be right at their eye level. What they're going to do is they're going to alternate right and left, and they're going to work on their sight words. Here's an example. The word is together. They start with one finger, T, O, G, E, T, H, E, R, together. Have them do that several times, then have them close their eyes and spell the word T, O, G, E, T, H, E, R, together. So an alternative to using a tag board is actually using a dry erase board. And this is actually my preferred method. If we're going to be doing this, we can start with our sight word, and then we can actually move the letters around so the child needs to do more of that visual scanning and they don't get too close to memorizing the position, and that gives them more opportunity to do the crossing and the visual scanning. So here's an example of using either a wiping board, a dry erase board, or a chalkboard. Basically spread out the letters and write your sight word above it. So what you would do, you start again, have the child at midline, and have them start alternating their arms. Okay, so they're going to start with T, then O, then G, then E, T, H, E, R, together. And one thing, if you do it this way, be careful for a couple of things. You don't want to put the T and the F too close together. You wouldn't want the Q and the G too close to each other. You would not want the O and the A too close to each other, or the M and the N, because that could really confuse some of the children and make it more difficult for them to scan for the correct letter. Here's another idea for children who are non-readers. You can use the same concepts of crossing that midline and scanning. For example, you might use shapes. Again, you can make as many shapes as you want. You can make it simple shapes. You can make it different colored shapes and have the same concept, where you have the child right at midline and you're going to have them follow this sequence. For example, it would be red. See how I'm crossing? Then green, then blue, then orange, then blue, then yellow, then gray, then blue again. You can have them say the colors, have them say the shape. You can have them say red, red diamond, green, purple rhombus, green pentagon, and on and on. And again, you can make it as simple or as complex as you want, depending on the child. So that's just an example of using the touch spell with a non-reader. So another alternative to using either words or shapes for children who aren't ready for that is just to use any kind of a sticker of something that they're interested in. A lot of our younger kids, of course, they love dinosaurs. So go to the dollar store, find some dinosaur stickers, and make a sequence. Same exact idea, where you're right in the middle, have them at the middle, and have them do the sequence, okay? So you do this, 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 then this guy, and this, and that, and this guy, and that guy. And you're doing the same thing where you're doing a lot of scanning and you're doing a lot of crossing midline without any reading. Another alternative that I really recommend is to bump this up a little bit more, have actually the child working what we call a half kneel. So one knee is up, one knee is down, and have them do the touch spell in that position. So that would be called a half kneel. So this position is called tall kneeling, and you're basically on both of your knees, standing up straight, and you're doing the touch spell this way. Again, you're going to be working more on core strength, and you'll also be working on balance at the same time that you are crossing midline. Very powerful tool that you can use with your children. So another thing you can add, again, to make it a little bit more challenging for students, and I do this mostly in therapy, is use something like this. This is a balance board. So you'd have the child stand, and they're doing the touch spell while they're balancing. This one is adjustable, so you can make it more simple or more complex. Just gives them a little bit more of a challenge to do this so the balance is working in the background.